Are you wondering what time to expect the upcoming game update and what to expect in the update? Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my Sims 4 news video. I'm also going to cover some basic steps on how to prepare before an update or troubleshoot afterwards, and a reminder to protect any saves that you care about. Also, I'm going to share a teaser from SimGuruNinja about what might be coming in the future. So the Lovestruck expansion pack is releasing this Thursday, July 25th. And so we know we're getting a game update, which the Sims Direct confirmed with this tweet. Tomorrow, July 23rd, a free base game update for the Sims 4 Lovestruck releases in the Sims 4. This update will likely conflict with externally created content, so please remember to remove any game mods and custom content in preparation for tomorrow's release. So they're even letting us know ahead of time, which is one of the things that I would suggest also, and will do so when I get to that part. This update will include the increased number of bug fixes shared in the latest laundry list alongside the new free content. And they have a link to some details on backing up your save files in advance of the release, so you can check that out. I also cover that in a video I just did and just released, and there's a link to the laundry list which we'll also be covering, and I'll link to everything down below too. So the usual time for base game updates is 10 a.m. Pacific, and I'm in the Eastern time zone, so that's 1 p.m. Eastern for me, and it'll be whatever that time converts to for you, and I will link of course to this down below too, so you can find out when that is. So we're going to go over what's coming to base game, starting with what's coming to Create a Sim, or I should say everything that I'm aware of, which is a mixture of things that I saw in the developer livestream, which I did also cover in my video overview of the developer livestream, and some tweets that I saw from some of the early access releases, though I haven't actually watched the video, so this is just what I know is coming. So of course we know that we're getting the eyelashes, which there are 2 coming to base game, and they have 2 colors. Black and brown are the colors that you're getting with that. And then just as an FYI, I did see this from Somatically. Please be aware that even with a new category from EA, the texture overlap issue with CC lashes won't be resolved. EA's new eyelashes use a 3D mesh with an all-black texture to form their shapes, whereas CC lashes are mainly created using drawn-on lashes on image textures. So someone replied, so CC lashes would need to be made like EA's in order to function correctly, and Somatically says yes. So I'm not sure that correctly is the right word, but if it's going to function the same way the EA lashes work, they would have to be done the same way. Of course, the other thing that we're getting is this ability to copy all in Create a Sim, which I'm quite looking forward to. And there's a note from the Sims from the Twitch stream where they said that they'll be adding a new apply all feature in Create a Sim that will allow players to add accessories, makeup, hair, and outfit options to multiple categories. And you can see that's all of the categories. So that is probably one of the things I'm most excited for in the base game update, though there's a lot of things coming in the base game update from what I can see. But it is a pretty big one for me. Of course, we're also getting this relationship boundary settings, which I did discuss in more detail in my overview on the developer livestream. But essentially, as you can see, the different options you can pick per the different categories, and Sims that are in existence and in existing saves, they will all default to yes across the board, but newly created Sims and new saves, newly game created Sims could have different settings than that. And then the other thing that we're getting, which I'm quite happy about, is this partner, which would previously have been boyfriend, girlfriend, and also all of the relationship tags are now gender neutral. So we have spouse instead of a husband and wife, and we have engaged instead of fiance, and partner instead of boyfriend, girlfriend. But we can actually set that and create a sim when you're setting up a new household, so you don't have to have them set as household members / roommates. They can actually be a partner right from the get-go. So that's very exciting. I'm also actually quite excited for that too. And we're getting the new hairstyles. We're getting actually 3 new hairstyles, but one of the new hairstyles, the one you can see here on the screen, has the, the highlights colors along with it. So it's technically is considered a 4th hairstyle. So 4 new hairstyles. And so there is one of the other ones, and there is the final one of those hairstyles. Then we're getting a lot of new nails and swatches in the Sims 4 base game. And that would explain why the laundry list has a whole bunch of fixes for nails on it. probably due to this, and maybe because they were working on this, maybe that's what caused some of the problems. I don't really know. And then this, as you can see, the credit was from Spring Sims, because Spring Sims has a video with like all the new things coming to base game. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I've just sort of looked across Twitter to get various things here. And so Chrissy YT said there's lots of new variants of the coffin, median, short, and French tip nails, and some matching toenail options. And then she shared these pictures here of some of the things for toenails. So if you're into that type of thing, that's another fun thing that's being added to Create a Sim. Now, of course, we have some things coming to base game build by, or I say some things, but mainly, to my knowledge, we're getting curved pools, but I've also heard that we are getting curved fountains, which kind of makes sense because they probably use similar tools. So that's another thing that's there. Right now we have octagonal fountains, not curved fountains. So that's sort of fun. And then some other gameplay / other categories coming to base game with the update. In the developer live stream, we saw this, we're getting this safe for streaming music, and they're planning on adding more. So you can see there the things that had the asterisk are the ones that are safe for streaming. But if you enable the safe for streaming, it'll just default and only play those safe for streamings, or that's how it's supposed to work. Then we're also getting this ability to hide relationships. So if we have Sims that we don't want to see in our relationship panel anymore, that's what I mean by hide relationships. You can hide it, as you can see there. And then you'll get this pop-up that asks that you want to confirm it, but also that if you interact with the Sim again, then it'll come back. That Sim will appear in your relationship panel again. It doesn't remove the Sim from the game. And there you can see that the Sim is no longer in that relationship panel. And that was from the live stream. This is from the Henford Hen, as you can see. And so we're getting this allow friendly invites and request option. And you can see that it includes, but's not limited to, the various options that are showing there: child play date invitations, birthday party invitations, restaurant invitations, which is a dine out thing, bar night invitations, which is get together, lounge event invitations, which is get famous, city invitations, which is city living, and then you've got friendly prom invitations and asked to be best friends. The last two are both high school years. And I think that automatic breakups might be a Lovestruck thing, but I don't really know. But this option being added into the game options, as the Henford Hen said, probably explains why events or invites to events was broken for such a long time. And then we have this, I have this tweet here from the Henford Hen, most of which I've already gone over, but at the end there is you've got this friendship relationship changes to neighbor stories and a relationship section in pie menu that are two other new things coming to base game. And I didn't have actual screenshots, so that's where I saw that. And so I'm sharing that here. Of course, the other thing we're expecting is a bunch of bug fixes as per the laundry list, which the Sims Direct also had shared that here, and I shared earlier. I also saw this from the Sims Direct with respect to DX11, i.e. DirectX 11. So it is still going to be on an opt-in basis with the update, tomorrow's update, the July 23rd update. And if you're experiencing any issues with it, they're still working and tracking them for future improvements. There were some fixes for DirectX 11 for the opt-in, obviously, in the laundry list. So I had wondered if it was going to go live because of that, but I also had seen that not everything was in there. So it's good that it's not going live yet, since they haven't resolved all of the issues, which also should help with the mod impact, because that could have caused more issues. The laundry list is very, very long. They had said over 60 items, but when I counted, there were 70 items on the list. And I will show it so you have a refresher, but I do have a full video where I went into more detail. I'm not going to talk in that detail. So 3 of the fixes on the laundry list are on this popular now on EA Answer headquarters. So the top one, the toddlers not receiving top-notch happy toddler traits on aging up, that is on the list. So they should be getting it if they earned it. The next one is this jumpy animation Sims teleport. There was a note in there about, if Sims were routing and then they had to somehow change, they would teleport to where they were going. That was, I think, the same as that one. Though it's possible there might be other instances and they're not fixing all of them. So that's always possible. And then this bottom one, never invited to parties, was specifically actually for high school years. So different from the other one that's being, the toggle being added to base game. In this case, there's an aspiration with high school years where you're supposed to sneak out to a party, and it's a college party specifically. And that was barely ever an option because you weren't getting the calls. So now what they've done with that per the laundry list is that you're going to be able to ask about college parties, and that will trigger the call. And then if you sneak out through that special window that comes with the pack, then that will count for that aspiration. So that is specifically what that is referring to. And as I had commented before, there are a lot of fixes for fingernails, which makes sense given we're getting more. And there were some other miscellaneous create a sim and build by fixes, and also various fixes for relationship kind of things. Also including that ability to use the get together closet, because if you had it placed in a wall, it wouldn't work for woohoo, mess around, or make out. You could still use it as a closet, but not for those. You had to have it like standing, freestanding, then it would still work. And also on the laundry list is NPC sims shouldn't be interrupting your sims when on a date. So, which, like I said, there were a few that were sort of date relationship related, which makes sense given the theme of the pack. So next we're going to talk about how to prepare or troubleshoot a game update. Here is my list to do to prepare for a game update. If you don't actually do them to prepare, then apart from the very first item, you can use these steps to troubleshoot after a game update, or if you're having any problems, to be honest. The best practice for a game update is to do them before you go into your game after an update. So, of course, the very first thing is to make a backup of your saves, and PlayStation players can do that too. The Sims Direct also recommended you do that because if there are issues with the update, you can refer back to those. Another thing I do in addition to, say, copying my saves folder and pasting it somewhere else, just anywhere other than the Sims 4 user folder. But if you want added backup, you should put it on an external source, like an external hard drive, or if you have somewhere online for that, just in case you have problems with your hard drive. The other thing I do is when I go into my game and it's after a major update or a major pack, I will open up my save and then I will immediately do a save as and then say, after such and such a game update. So that I essentially have two versions. I have one that it's easy to get to in my saves folder, but plus I can also go get the one that I backed up and have external. But keep in mind when you have the backup from external, if you do end up with problems, you want to take a copy of your backed up saves in and leave the backup intact because you could continue to have problems and you still may want to revert back to the older version. So never move that backup into your saves. Always copy it in. The next thing is if you are a mods user, you should move your mods folder to your desktop. That's the simplest way to do it. You could just take the individual mods out, but the cleanest thing is to move the whole mods folder. When you open up your game, with the mods folder out, it will generate a new mods folder and a new resource file. And I generally, for best practice, use that new resource file and not the old one that got moved with the mods folder. And then check your saves folder for any mod setting files, because some mods like the 18 plus Wicked Whims and the Wonderful Whims, which is the non-18 plus version, and some other mods can put their settings files there. So you want to make sure you take those out too. And again, I'm saying move, I'm not saying to delete. You can keep them so that you can use it as, a reference for what you're going to look for if you don't have a reference somewhere else. So you want to make sure you do that at least before you go into your game. So I'm saying before your update, but before you go into your game. So after you update, and again, before you go into your game, prepare your game in the EA app or Origin if you're on an older Mac. And on Steam, this is verify game files. I show how to do the EA app and the Steam in my tutorial video. Then you also want to delete your local thumb cache file. So for that, it's in your The Sims 4 folder. You can see it there. If you play on console for this, my understanding is you can fully shut down your console, leave it off for a few minutes and turn it back on, and that sort of mimics the deleting the cache files. And then if you're a mod user, wait until your mods and custom content are cleared or updated before adding them back in. And of course, if they are updated, you should add the updated version back in, not the old version. And reminder, mods and custom content are automatically disabled with most updates. They will be disabled with this update since it's so big and they're telling us to take our mods folder out. But if you just go with that, you can still have problems. I've seen many people say, oh, but my mods and custom content are automatically disabled and I'm having such and such a problem, and I know the problem is something from a mod. So you definitely, it is cleaner and better to take them out. If you decide not to and you have problems, then remember, you should take it out then, because like I said, this is also troubleshooting. And as I have there, I have a tutorial video that I just did where I go into a bit more detail and show how to do some of these things. If you play on the EA app or Origin and you want to temporarily void the update, you can turn off automatic updates and go offline with them. And I just did a tutorial video showing how to do that. So you can go refer to that if you would like to, delay the update, especially if you're a mods and custom content user. But sometimes even non-mods and custom content users might want to, in case they're concerned that the game update could break things, like has happened in the past, like with the high school years update where we had the aging issue, and that didn't have anything to do with mods and custom content. It affected everybody who played on short or long lifespans. They had some issues. So another thing is an important reminder that since this is a big update, I recommend you play in a new test save and don't play with any saves you care about until after you find out if the game update caused any issues that can actually damage your save. And as I said, some past issues that caused problems for simmers were like the one with the pre-high school years update where you had the aging issue. And then there was also one with the Crystal Creations base game update that caused some issues too. So, and also new packs can cause issues, like Growing Together had the issue with the kids losing their teeth, changing how they looked. So I'm just saying, when you're playing with a new major update or a new big pack, or not even like even a stuff pack, you should test it in a new save and not a long-term save that you cared about. Though, of course, you do have a backup of your saves too, that you can go back, but then you might lose what you did and have to roll back, and you may not want to do that. So the simplest and safest thing to do is just play in a new test save. So now just for a few final miscellaneous things. So in the live stream last week, The Sims said that the patch notes next week will go into detail about all the base game updates, which hopefully they will, and actually show the things that are new, because just as a reminder, the new items won't have the new flag, so you'll need to actually know what you're looking for when you're looking for them. Hopefully we'll see everything in those base game update notes. But also there is usually a delay between when the update goes live and the patch notes are released. Minimum, my experience has been, is a half an hour, but it can be longer. I don't know whether because it's a big update it'll take longer or how it's going to go. Then on a fun final note, not related to the game update, the Henford Hen shared this about SimGuruNinja dropping this comment on a little Simsy stream a couple of days ago, and wondering what he might be hinting at with like a graveyard and whatnot. So it says, but don't worry, elders will die better soon. So let me know what you think about that. Do you think, I see a lot of speculation that we're going to be getting a funeral pack, and it would probably either be an expansion or a stuff pack, because it seems for now like we're not getting game packs, though hopefully sometime. So anyways, are you planning on updating immediately? And what are you most excited for in the game update? And what do you think of the teaser from SimGuruNinja? I'd love to know in a comment down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!